And with the beloveds, I hope this microphone is a little bit better today. I don't have to run the AC since we had this amazing storm last night. But anyways, just a hodgepodge of things today. Maybe blending in, maybe not. So I woke up this morning and I had this craving to watch the news. I mean, this is, for me, anybody that knows me, it's like, what? But I don't know. I think, and this is kind of where this conversation is going, you are the entire universe and you constantly balance yourself out. So your subconscious and your conscious balance out, or you're good and evil, or your higher self with your lower self. And I noticed that the more some of us go into a higher self, the more we have this craving to balance ourselves out with the lower self, because I do have friends that basically have attained this 0 point bliss, and they are basically lost to the three-dimensional world at that point in time, because they're in heaven. I mean, well, hell, the other way around. But it's it's all about you balancing yourself out. And so sometimes when you go really far into the peace and quiet and silence and harmony and health and healing and balance, once in a while, your subconscious stirs and wants to access the opposite. And that's exactly what we created with this matrix. This matrix is the opposite of your true self. I don't really like to go into a lot of, spiritual speak, but this matrix is basically the opposite and the worst of us. Now, am I talking about like nature when I talk about the matrix? No, I'm talking about this synthetic fake overlay that we have created that's called civilization. Civilization is a very sick, very diseased state of our consciousness. It's base consciousness. It's all about fear, materialism, division, deception, drama, the worst of the worst. And it's the same when you watch, for example, TV. I was trying to decide which one of the news channels, because I don't watch the news like ever, or TV. But I got this smart TV, so I can watch it with the kids. Like movies and stuff. So the only one I could probably stomach was Bloomberg News. Because I figured, how dramatic can numbers be? Oh boy, they've become very dramatic. It's not what I remember. Everything is just completely dramatized. It's this doomsday frequency that they try to portray. And it's so interesting because I went to school for 22 years. I basically have as many degrees as anybody can have. And I can listen to a lecture and literally write down 2 sentences out of it. And those 2 sentences would be the most significant. That is how I scan information. And I can listen to something like, a news report and literally get nothing out of it. It's a lot of talk with no meaning. And a lot of drama with absolutely no basis for the drama. So it's like, it reminds me in school when they used to ask me, it was like an essay question, and there was a question and I would give a 1-sentence answer. And the teacher would say, well, yeah, that's the essence of it, but I need you to expand on it. And I was like, why? I gave you the answer. So, the teacher's like, listen, you're a straight A student, just go make up some shit and fill the page. That's exactly what is going on in the world right now. It's just this warfare of information and sensationalism. And it's really concerning, because it's like a lot of noise. And noise seems to be the latest warfare. there's a lot of warfare going on right now on the peace and quiet of what humans should be. And another warfare is this fake system that we have created, this what I call the DemonDroid agenda, that is basically declaring lawfare on humanity. That was a term, oddly enough, that I got on Bloomberg today. Lawfare, basically warfare by using the law. And for anybody that's been through the court system with toxic people, it's lawfare. Somebody's gonna try to, attempt to make you miserable by using the law. But at the same time, they're lying because there's no validity in using the law. So it's kind of like a frivolous lawsuit. And those are, if you've never gone through one, your first one will be very upsetting because this person's lying and they're just fabricating. Then that's another thing too. There's a war on humanity by fabrication of information and deception. So basically it is an information war. That's it. But so the first time you go through that is going to be fairly upsetting. But see, the best thing you can do is try to go through the court system by, for example, breaking up with a psychopath. And it's amazing stuff that you learn. And after going through that, you realize that nothing has power over you. All you have to do is basically just go through the motions and let the universe intervene. I call it Deus ex machina. Basically, just whenever you think you have been cornered, if you believe in that magical something will come to your rescue. And it's actually really interesting because that happened to me. Now, I'm a seasoned veteran. I don't mind the courts and all that stuff. Been there, done that, smoked that pipe. But for some people that go through it for the first time, legal rookies, it's going to be very upsetting. It's almost kind of like a person going through a battle for the first time. You don't know what's going on, but the second, third, 55th time, it's kind of like, been there, done that. All right, let's get this shit on the road. But, what I'm trying to get at by this morning ramble is that there's a lot of warfare on you. And I was trying to figure out how to explain what is happening. And when I tried to figure out how to explain it, the sentence that came into my mind was, who died and left these idiots in charge? And the answer is, you did. You were the one that died. And the moment you died, the moment you manifested within the material matrix, the moment you left the clone behind in the material matrix, those are you. Those are your little demon children. Those are your children of the corn that you left behind in this matrix. And now those children are trying to get your attention. This is not something that, I invented. This is something that they talk about in a lot of movies and things like that. It kind of reminds me of if you have a baby or a child, let's say you leave them somewhere unsupervised. With the baby, it can be anything from like 10 seconds to, 2 minutes or whatever. But if you leave them unsupervised, you come back, you're going to be like, what the fuck just happened here? They shit in the water, they throw up all over or whatever, and it's like, whoa. Or, if you leave a room full of toddlers unsupervised, it's just amazing what you find when you come back. So that's exactly what we've done. We have created this mayhem, and we left. We went back to source. And then all of a sudden, we went, to higher and better realms, and all of a sudden we come back, and this is what we're faced with. Look at this. I mean, look at humanity. It's really, I get nauseous when I think about them. I mean, look at the jokes that they think they're funny. Look at the clothes they wear. Look at the attention that they're constantly getting. It's almost like a demon deficit disorder. They're constantly in deficit of something. They need things constantly need things. I mean, just talk to any of them. Anybody that's on this, what they call a narcissistic scale, it's amazing. They always need attention. They always need money. They always need help. They always need somebody to undo their bullshit that they created. They always need some power and control over somebody, even if it's their little fluffy dog. That's the reason why people a lot of times have pets, is because they need control over somebody, and they need to triangulate that little creature into their bullshit, and it's just never ending. That was my only bone to pick with my past relationships, is that they did not know when to stop. I mean, I understand you create one drama a year, but every day, 24/7, no. And finally I realized, hold on, they need this. And the reason why so many people are compatible together is because they vibrate at that same level of drama and bullshit and need. It's almost like vampires feasting on each other. So basically, this fake system that we have created, this matrix system that has overlaid onto the natural system, like a transparency onto another transparency. When you give a presentation, you have transparencies overlaying on top of each other. That's exactly what it is. Interlaced within this information system that we call planet Earth, we now have this invasion of this lawfare, this fake system that has invaded and infiltrated and corrupted the purity of the code. And that's what we have to deal with right now. So we have to decide if it's going to be within the balance of this planet, or if it's going to have to be something that, we will have to unravel and send on its way onto a different planet. So yeah, when you look around, that's exactly what you're dealing with. Just it's this information that is interlaced within the natural information, and it's created mayhem and chaos and division, and you're gonna see a lot of division right now, and we haven't even started seeing the division yet. There's gonna be some major division going on unless we manifest a different outcome. But this virus has definitely separated different factions. It's almost like unraveled. It's kind of like if you do leave a bunch of toddlers in a room, or cats. Cats is even better, kitty cats, with a bunch of yarn. That's exactly what they've done. They've just untangled the yarn so badly that we are here just trying to unravel it, because it's just so badly messed up. And there are many ramifications of all of this. I can't even put myself into the mindset of one of these DemonDroid creatures. And I think that's the reason why they don't have a true self, a core personality either, is because, well, number one, they're clones, so they're just a shadow copy of what we left behind in the Matrix. So it's basically just a shadow dancer, NPC, non-playing character. But I don't know. I mean, can you imagine putting yourself in the shoes of people around you? Wow. I can't. I don't think my mind can reach that deep down. I mean, I've grasped the mentality of, a lot of dysfunctional people. Even I even understand psychopaths, but I don't understand humans, and it's really, really bizarre as to how and why they do things that they do. But it all goes down to that loosh, that attention that they need. They are constantly in a loosh deficit, state of deficit. And if you notice, they give this loosh to this matrix constantly. So they're always drained. They watch TV, they're drained. They eat dead food, they're drained, because dead food drains you. It does not give you life. That is a pile of shit inside of you that is draining your life energy, because that is also information. There is nothing that is dead in this universe. Everything is an exchange of information. So the pile of shit inside of you that you just ate is basically draining your life energy, because it's exchanging information with you. So, the greatest deception is to disregard the fact that everything is alive. Now, some of them are in a state of deficit, which we call death, but it's still alive. It's a living universe. And, it's in a computer type program. Now, I'm not talking simulation. I'm talking about a dream that behaves like a computer program, like a video game. So, yeah, you're interacting with everything that you're interacting with is constantly draining and looshing your energy. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this talk, and I don't know, there's really no particular reason why I do these talks. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm just kind of here to just to entertain, really. And sometimes when I listen to people's talks or information, unless it's completely ridiculously programming, which you can smell from afar, I can tell programming within the first 5 seconds, if not less. But sometimes when I listen to talks, I get different ideas, and that's why I noticed that a lot of us living ones, we sift through a lot of information every day. Like, I notice even my kids, the moment they're born, they're constantly reading, watching shows, talking to people. They're exchanging information, because what they're doing is they're trying to grasp what's going on. They're also trying to unravel things. It's almost like when you go into, I call it Plato's closet, when you go into a place that has a bunch of junk, and you're just throwing it, like, trying to sift through the junk and trying to triage everything and trying to make sense of what stays, what goes, what's useless, what's not. And that's exactly what we do in this realm. We sift through information, trying to figure out what to do with it. Now, granted, if you shut everything off, the TV, your mind, connections with everybody around you, you will be at that blissful 0 point that some call heaven, or I call hell, because it's enlightenment. But it's if you do that, that's a very beautiful 0 point. But at that point in time, the matrix basically has no more purpose for you. You're not exchanging information anymore. It also cannot do any information warfare upon you, and I don't know what happens at that point. I think you transcend. Some people call it death. There's no death. So you become pure spirit information. Yeah, it would be delightful to attain that point, but don't be in a rush to attain that point, because the universe is eternal. You are infinite, and this is just what we do to keep ourselves entertained. So anyways, well, happy Tuesday. Maybe get some tacos in La Cache.